Nasrudin had emigrated to the United States and he was teaching at a university. At this university, every week a visiting professor would come and give a lecture open to everybody. And this day Nasrudin goes to the university to listen to the visiting professor, and the head of the department grabs hold of him and says, "You're giving the talk." And Nasrudin said, "How come? What happened to the visiting professor?" And the head of the department said, "He got stuck in a snowstorm, he's not coming, and you have to give the talk." And I said, "Why me?" And the head of the department said, "Because you are the only one whose wife isn't here." And I said, "So what?" The head of the department said, "The topic is on sex and marital bliss, and all the other professors feel shy talking about it in front of their wives." And threw him onto the stage, and everybody clapped, and he said, "Here is Professor Nasrudin to give you a talk about sex and marital bliss." And at first, Nasrudin was like a deer in the headlights, like certain of our politicians have been recently. But soon he got into his stride. He started talking, and the more he talked, the more he was enjoying himself, telling everybody about sex and marital bliss. Soon, before he knew it, 45 minutes had gone by, and he ended his lecture. Everybody clapped for him. In fact, he got a standing ovation. He had given a most wonderful lecture. And so he went home, and his wife asked him about how his day had gone. And he told his wife that he'd been press ganged to give a lecture. And his wife said, "What was the lecture about?" Now he couldn't tell his wife that he talked about sex and marital bliss. So he told his wife, "I talked about sailing." And his wife looks at him and said, "You don't know anything about sailing." Nasrudin says, "You're right. You know that. I know that. But they didn't know that." So that was the end of the whole story. Next morning, Nasrudin's wife goes to a supermarket to buy food, and all the ladies are smiling to her, and one of them comes up and says, "I didn't know your husband was such an expert in the subject." And Nasrudin's wife says, "He's not really. He's only done it twice. The first time his hat fell off, and the second time he fell off himself."